Okay, this is great. All right, so let's get into this. Please do introduce yourself.
Hi. Thanks, Fatemeh, for having me here. I'm Susmita,
Mhm.
a postdoc at IUCA. I'm also the co-chair of the IIU Junior Members Working Group, which is exactly how you and I became friends.
Right.
So I think I really encourage people to,
Mm.
like, in addition to research, I really
Right.
encourage people to go out volunteer for different committees, organizing stuff, etc. Because I feel like in addition to all of the scientific networks that we build, we end up being really good friends
Right.
throughout
True.
the committees and volunteering processes, right?
Right. I always like encourage community-oriented activities. I
Yes,
think they're great.
yes,
And your network will be building in a very different way. You start knowing like so many precious people. I mean, our
exactly.
friendship was one of the best things that came out of this activity. So I really do appreciate it, and I
Yes.
encourage
I mean,
everyone
I
else
mean,
to get
I
involved with
mean,
it.
the two of us, we would have eventually crossed paths at some point, I feel, because we have so many mutual connections.
Right. True.
But because we are both working together for the IAU junior members
It's a
is
very
how
different
we,
level.
yes, we are
Yeah.
constantly in touch. We really became friends in the
Right.
past
And I
year.
learned so much from you,
I,
honestly.
I I do
To
too.
be
Thank
honest,
you.
through our interactions, because we're kind of like personality-wise, like on very different spectra.
Yes.
And then,
I
yeah,
think
like
I
I
think
just
we really
like,
balance each other, right?
right, true. Yeah, it's like yin and yang type of interaction. So I'm very appreciative that our lives like put us on the same path so we could meet somehow. And yeah,
Yes.
I'm grateful for it, for
Me
every
too.
single moment of it. Yeah, this is
Yeah.
great interaction. Okay, so um, let's start with the standard questions. How did you become an astronomer slash astrophysicist? Do you have a
Um,
specific moment that it just occurred to you, or it was like an inspiration, it was a book, it was a pamphlet? How did it happen?
so I do not have one particular moment I can go back to
Right.
when I
Mhm.
realized this is what I want to do. But as far as I go back, the youngest I have ever been, I
Mhm.
realized that I have always been extremely fascinated and interested. Like I had a natural aptitude towards physics and mathematics.
Right.
So I think that was what put me in the track in the first place before I even knew
Right.
astrophysics was a thing, right? So during
Okay.
school, high school, middle school, etc. So I was
Right.
always very into mathematics and science. Is how I
Mhm.
landed up taking science as my specialization. So we have a thing called higher secondary where we have to choose between science, arts, or commerce. Is how like there was no doubt I had to go for science. And
Mm.
once again,
Okay.
among science, so I come from a family of doctors, medical doctors. So everybody in the family is has been through biology, is
Right.
why I opted for biology as well
Okay,
as
right.
my
I was
elective.
going to ask you, I was like, was there an expectation that you should become the next doctor in the family? I mean, you are a doctor already, but as we say it, is useless one.
So no, not at all. In fact, my father tried to discourage us from pursuing the
Oh,
medical
wow.
profession
Oh,
because
wow.
it is extremely difficult. Like all of every single step
Right.
is extreme. So my sisters did not heed
Right.
any uh, like they did not heed his advice, and they both my elder sisters went through with medical and all of the
Okay. The
associated
hassle. Yeah, right.
difficulties that come with it.
Right.
Like every step there are entrances, right? Even for us, I mean, it's a long, long journey.
Right.
So I feel like they are both very difficult journeys in their own right. So if I were to
Okay.
compare,
Right.
I would say every single career path is so difficult. If you choose
Mhm.
what you like, at least you
Right.
enjoy during the hard process,
Oh, well.
right?
Yeah, no, right. Because you always fall back on why I
Yes,
chose this. Why am I going through all this difficulty? Why going this
exactly.
far? Why learning so much? Where am
Yes,
I going? And then you're like, no, but I'm enjoying this, so this is great. I
yes,
couldn't see myself in any other discipline. But was it like that for, okay, so I mean, I feel like right now, like we're at this stage that you just had a love for math and science.
yes,
So you
yes,
chose science as your major, but then
yes.
how
So,
did you get into astronomy, astrophysics?
yes,
Yeah, like where
yeah,
did
yeah,
that
yeah.
start?
Yes, so it has been a method of elimination the entire,
Oh,
journey.
wow.
So I was,
Okay.
of all the options available, I would keep eliminating one from the other,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
So
True.
genetics was the only thing I was interested in, biology, but not the rest. So that was like an
Right.
immediate no.
Okay.
So again, once again, I was narrowing down to physics and mathematics. So now
Right.
in India, what happens is if you have an aptitude for science, the two usual career paths that people usually choose are either medical or engineering. And,
Okay.
and and this is when I'm 18, right? So
Right.
naturally, I apply for all of the engineering colleges. I
Okay.
made it through most of them,
Right.
except for the one that I really wanted to get into, which is
Okay.
like the most prestigious engineering
Okay.
institute, which is
Right.
the Indian Institute of Technology, IIT.
Okay.
Uh, and then that was the time when I really had to sit down and think what would be interesting in engineering for me.
Mm.
I had no real answer. There was no engineer that I knew that I could really talk to,
Right.
right? I was just
And someone to look
eliminating.
up to is very important in that
Exactly.
stage.
So I
Someone
was
that you
just
want to become. Like your
yes,
becoming happens that way, right? True.
right. So my natural uh like my natural application went towards engineering because I had to eliminate medical was my entire thing.
Oh, okay.
So
Right. True.
so back then I had no
Mhm.
idea about the third path that I could take potentially.
Right.
So then so this is like I'm super impressed that at 18 I had to be making all of these
Right.
decisions because once again I thought what would be the most interesting part about engineering, and it came back to maths and physics again.
Right.
And
Okay.
then in India, if I were to pursue a BSc in mathematics, it would have been real analysis, which I did
Right.
not really like. I liked more of the application of
Right.
mathematics. So
True.
that is how I got into bachelor's in physics.
Oh,
And
wow.
that
Okay.
there has never been a moment of regret since. Like as soon as I stepped into physics, I
Right.
thought this is perfect. This is everything I would have wanted to study. I mean, there
Okay.
has never been a moment of regret or going back that I wish I were in engineering. Never a single moment.
It was a
I'm
perfect
really,
choice.
it was the
Written
perfect
in the
choice.
stars,
Yes.
yeah.
Yes. And
Physics
then,
is for me, right? And then, so it
yes.
was like pure physics, right? So you
Yeah.
went through all this, like, I mean, nuclear physics, plasma physics, I don't know, like
Yes.
particle physics type of thing, general
Yes.
relativity,
Yeah.
special
Yeah.
relativity. So you're coming from a very mathematical background that, like, usually
Yes.
not all astronomers, this is not a given for everyone, at least in
Mm,
Europe. Like, you can start with an astronomical oriented type of major.
mm.
But yeah, like so for you, you're coming from a very theoretical background. But it's very
Yes.
beautiful. I think it's a
Yeah.
privilege to just have those like 3 or 4 years of bachelor, starting from all that magic. It's an experience, like an exceptional experience that many physicists do carry with themselves throughout their lives because that's like learning about how universe works. So it's very precious. It's really valuable.
Yes.
So you have fond
Oh,
memories of those years, I can imagine.
yes. Also, I did my master's at the University of Delhi, and
Right.
during that era, we had the strongest people in astrophysics. So
Okay.
the best astrophysics in the country were divided between not I would say they would be scattered all over. But Delhi University
Mm.
had a very strong number of people who were known for astrophysics, right? So I
Okay.
got to learn from them is also how I got into so
Mhm.
from the whole of physics. So like you mentioned,
Mhm.
we had all of these courses like plasma physics, general relativity,
Mhm.
cosmology, astrophysics, etc. And then that is how I really got into astronomy and astrophysics, and then decided that this is really what I want to do forward.
Right. So your bachelor happened with physics and all the
Yes.
like Hogwarts slash like magical stuff that we learn in physics. And then it's like, I mean,
Yes.
theoretical physics is just real art and magic, I suppose. But for your master's and then PhD, like how did you proceed with them?
So
Or like maybe like the question is that how does it take place in India? Because some places bachelor and masters are together. So you choose only once, then you go for a PhD. Like how does it work over there?
so there are both options. You
Mhm.
can either choose to do a combined bachelor's master's degree,
Okay.
or you can also opt to have a combined master's PhD degree.
Mhm.
But because I was in the university, it still had the very traditional approach. So first we had 3 years of bachelor's, followed by
Mhm.
2 years of master's, and then your PhD.
Right.
And then again, it is super competitive at every single step because the number of seats that are available versus the number of applications is
Oh,
the
right.
ratio is just
True. Right. It's
crazy.
very competitive, right?
Yes, so every single step you need to keep appearing for written exams, interviews, and so on. So that is how I got into masters. 2 years, like masters physics were the 2 years where I learned almost everything, honestly.
Right.
Bachelor's was honestly more like fun, but
Right. True.
masters was really when I picked up and
Mhm.
knew that I was serious about this whole thing.
Oh,
And
wow.
then again for PhD, so there was also a time when I briefly did a 3 month internship in Berlin. So
Right.
that was so I was an Inspire scholar.
Mhm.
So the government of India funded me during my
Right.
bachelor's and master's,
Mhm.
and it also provides the opportunity to go abroad for some sort of an internship or a project.
Right.
So I did a 3 month internship in Berlin, which was also a super amazing experience. That was at the interface of physics and chemistry.
Right.
So
Oh,
that was also the time. So I always knew I had an aptitude or interest towards astrophysics, right? But this
right.
was at the interface of physics, chemistry, and I was also encouraged by my mentors to give other options a try.
Right.
The experience itself was extremely good, but it brought me back again. So this was also a very nice experience in the way that I spent 3 very good months
Right.
doing the experiments, but at the same time, it also made me very clear that interdisciplinary at that stage was not for me. So I
Mm,
came
okay.
back
Right.
to
Right.
being in astrophysics. And then when I was applying for PhD all over the country, I was applying only for the astrophysics and
Oh, so this
cosmology.
was the shift.
Yes, yes.
Something,
So
yeah, something shifted. You were like, okay, yeah, like I have like all these options and then this is my path. But then like, was
yes.
there a defining moment in the middle that you were like, okay, this is astrophysics. I know that this is astrophysics. And then because like it's like physics and chemistry, but then like at the same time, like I don't see the astro component in the middle of it. Like
So during my
how did astro
master's,
come in?
yes, during my master's, I had my specialization as astronomy, astrophysics, general
Mhm.
relativity, cosmology, and observational astronomy.
Okay.
In addition, with all of the other subjects like plasma
Yeah.
physics,
Right.
so material science, all
Right.
of those, right? So I
Right.
think masters was when the 2 years of masters, where I was really learning all of the technical stuff, all of the real information. I was also changing my interest towards, once again, the process of elimination, that I'm really not
Right.
interested towards material science or plasma physics. I was really
Right.
interested into astrophysics, also cosmology. At the time, I loved working with tensors, and then
Oh, okay. Right.
and then
Oh, okay.
I also had observational astronomy lab. So all
Okay.
of these combination was really what geared me towards
Mhm.
astrophysics.
So there was a huge pillar of practicality and then
Yes,
like technical stuff that came in.
yes,
And then you were like,
yes,
okay, like
yes.
I really enjoy the technical part. And
Mm,
then you were like, okay, like I don't want anything else. So it has to
yes.
be this one.
I think it has to do, of course, with a bit of aptitude and interest, but so
Right.
much more of the professor's impact on you. So
Oh,
like I
mentors or
mentioned,
everything. Right.
all of the professors during my masters were just
Right.
brilliant. They were
Okay.
super
Right.
approachable, and
Right.
the way they presented all of the
Hmm.
technical stuff, right, which
Right.
would not
True.
which would which might be scary, were
Right.
not scary at all, was very interesting.
Okay. Yeah, no, right. I mean, I totally get that. Yeah, right. I mean, yeah, my mentors also like affected me a lot during my bachelor studies. My master's like not that much, but yeah, like
Mhm.
I still I have like very fond memories of physics because of the people who taught me those things. Like I was very fortunate to be in front of people like that who are very passionate teachers. Like they really
Yes,
wanted to teach people stuff.
yes.
So yeah, okay. So it was a combination of mentorship and then elimination and then practical stuff. So yeah, okay. Now I get it, like how did you get into this stuff? But how did you continue with that? Like you were just like, okay, like it just like I mean, a love that was like growing and then like just became your
Yes, yes.
routine. It was like,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah,
like
yeah.
this is my life. Like at a certain point you were like, okay, this is my life. There's no way that I'm like
So
getting out of
yes,
this.
yes. So every single stage, like every passing year, I would keep realize. So like I mentioned, there is no one fixed point I can really get back into, except
Right,
that I just enjoyed what I was doing. So I continued along that path. So whatever, so from a whole range of options that were available to me, I would keep rejecting whatever I did not enjoy, unless
right,
you had to appear for the exam, of course. But
right,
what would you spend your most time working
right,
towards is how I started. This is how I realized, like, which path do I want to keep continuing. So
right.
always the good thing is I had a lot of options throughout. I just kept following what felt the most natural or fun to me. And that is
Oh
how
wow.
I started applying to all of these PhD positions. So I did not even apply for anywhere else. Like I mentioned, when I was applying for PhD,
Right,
people were telling me be flexible because PhDs are not so easy to get into.
right. True.
But I said, I mean, you have to enjoy the subject to continue your
Right.
academic
PhD
research
is a
career
very
in.
difficult phase. I think
Yes,
like one of the
with
most difficult phases of everyone's lives. Like so many people
yes,
say that I just hate it. I don't want to go back. And it's a lot of hassle. So
yes,
unless you're really into it, I suppose you shouldn't even like
yes.
apply for it.
Exactly, which is why I only applied for all of the astrophysics. Also, like I said, I was also very interested in the gravitational wave cosmology
Right.
aspect. So I was
Right.
applying for astrophysics and cosmology topics. So
Right.
both were equally appealing to me, and I chose this particular one. Now, again, PhD was a huge difference from what I expected
Yeah.
because I really enjoyed all of the classroom teaching with the equations and stuff,
Right.
right? So I thought that is what research is going to be all about
Right.
also. So I thought
True.
I would be working with a lot of equations, tensors, and so on.
Right.
So the moment I entered into when I was looking for PhD positions, it was all data analysis.
Right.
So now, of
It's a
course,
huge
most of
shift,
us do.
right? Yeah, like for people like us who are like coming from a different background, you're like, oh my
Exactly.
God, yeah, like the
Yes.
entire like process just shifted.
Yes. But the good thing is I really, really enjoy programming.
Okay, yeah, right. Yeah, this is
So
something that
this
I
this
wanted to say.
this was
Yeah,
again
right.
something that I
It
really
was,
enjoy.
yeah, it was aligned with you. It was in your favor,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
So,
So
like, I mean, I want to emphasize this thing in this moment of the interview. This is like one of the first keywords that I suppose is for the first time is coming up. You said that it was natural to you to pursue this. I have never heard this from
uh,
anyone.
okay.
Like, no one uses this word, that this is natural. This was my natural choice. So I just
Um,
really felt that I'm like aligned with this, so I can like go ahead with this because this just came to me naturally. Like this was my practice. So I think this is very beautiful. Like usually like people are attracted to the beauty or like prestige or like how it sounds, the words and then like all these grandiose like traits and characteristics of this field. Like you're basically like, no, for me like it was peaceful. I naturally was
yes.
attracted to this.
Yes. I mean, I would never see myself doing something that I have to struggle for daily, right? It has to be
Right.
fun. Otherwise, there
Okay.
is simply no point.
Right. Yeah, like too much hardship for nothing, right?
Yes.
For
Yes.
others, yeah, like we should always do something for
Of
ourselves, right?
course, there are still moments when we are crying while writing
Of
papers,
course,
when
yeah.
things don't.
Yeah. Pulling your hair out like why this thing
But
is
I
not
think
working.
that's part of the process in the overall
Right.
long-term
True. No,
happiness,
right.
I would say.
No, this is true. Okay. So I think like I received my answer. Okay. So
Okay.
it was a whole like process. It was
I, so,
like building a
so I'm sure.
relationship with
Yeah.
the field. Yeah, no, it was like building a relationship, a very natural relationship with the field. Yeah, like beautiful.
Yes.
No, really. Okay, so how does it feel to be an astronomer after all this drama? How does it feel to live as an astronomer these days, as an early career researcher?
So, the first year of PhD took a bit of adjusting, like I said.
All right.
I was thinking, oops, this is very different from what I expected.
Right.
But once I got the hang of it, the first paper was also extremely difficult for me
Right.
because but once I got the hang of how to write papers, it started being exciting all over again.
Okay.
So I really,
Right.
really struggled with my first publication. I think I took like 3 years or so.
Right.
But once I got the hang of it, now I find it thrilling.
Okay.
There is
Nice.
the adrenaline rush that you have right just before the submission, right?
Right.
I think everybody
Right.
has that. So there are, of course, extended periods of time when you are,
Right.
oh, what is happening? Why
Right.
is it not working out? How do I finish everything off?
Right.
But when you have the click and when you are wrapping everything up in a very
Mhm.
nice story and about to submit, you have
Mm.
the rush, right? I
Oh,
live
yeah.
for that rush, honestly. That is one of the
Right.
most exciting parts for me. Like that is one of
Okay.
the most exciting phases for me as an like an astronomer. I
Okay. Yeah, I
love
feel like this is like something unique for you because like for me, like for example, when I'm like pushing the submit button, I'm like at that point, I'm just so tired of seeing
yeah.
that paper. And like because I mean there are
You want to
like
get it done
10
with.
rounds of review revisions and then like people
Yes.
coming in and saying, oh yeah, like I mean that like paragraph, I'm still not happy with that. And I'm like, okay, we don't care about this. We're just submitting. And like when I'm like pushing
Yes.
the button, I'm like, just go and never come back. This is like, because I'm just like so worn out, you know, like I'm just so weary. And I saw like this meme on Facebook the other day that they were saying that the moment that you're sick and tired of a paper, it means that like the paper is ready.
Exactly.
It's ready to
Yes.
go. So
Yeah.
yeah, like, but for you, like I'm happy that it's at least like something exciting and thrilling. So
So the papers that take a super long time is
mhm.
exactly what this is exactly what I go through. I
Right.
feel like go away and never come back. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm so bored of you that I need to submit now.
Yeah, right. Just go go live your own life.
Yes.
The death of the author process, right?
I know
I don't see
that was
myself in you anymore.
you described my first publication submission.
Yeah, right. I know. It just like takes a very long time and then like it's just a struggle. I don't like the thing that I really like don't enjoy doing like the whole part of like writing it, like the discoveries and then like putting it into words, like that point is like great. But then
Yeah.
like when I'm done with it and then like everyone else comes in, then I'm like, okay, that is not the part that I like. And unfortunately, like that is exactly the part like before the submission phase.
Yes.
So yeah,
Yes.
like from that point onward, like I kind of like disconnect with the
But
process.
also, I don't know. I get super excited when I know the reviewer is about to send the referee report.
Oh yeah? Like
I'm refreshing every
okay.
single morning,
You like
every
the
single
test
evening.
results. You're looking forward to
Yes,
the test results.
I get very excited when I'm
Right.
about to receive the referee report.
Oh, okay. Right. That's a good
But
sign. Yeah.
but
That's
of
a very
course,
good
I
sign.
am the
Mhm.
happiest when it is done. Of
Okay. Yeah,
course,
no,
that
right.
is also
Okay.
true for.
Okay, yeah, no, right.
But other than that, so this was the paper writing aspect, right?
Right.
So personally, I think I really enjoy the
Which is a big
analysis
part
part.
of our
Yes,
life,
yes,
right?
yes. For
We are
daily
like
life, I
sometimes like
mean.
I jokingly say that we're in a publication industry. Yeah,
I
so
mean,
like
I would
papers
say
is a
that is
very
like
big part of it.
80% of our lives, no? This is
Right.
80% of our professional
True.
life.
Right. True. No, right. I mean, this is the
And
product of this industry, I believe, right?
yes. But then, of course, the next best part to me is all the traveling that we get to do for
Oh, okay, right.
conferences,
Okay.
and then you end up having friends in almost every country,
Right.
right? So whichever
True.
country you are in, you just
Right.
text
You
them.
have someone. Right.
Exactly. So, and
Right.
then conferences. So the first conference was very daunting for me because
Right.
everybody were in huge groups, like, right? They knew each
Oh,
other.
right.
I was
Right.
a newbie. I had read
Right.
everybody's names in papers, but I had never really
Okay.
met them. So
Right.
the first ever international conference was very daunting. But now
Right.
conferences, once again, are like reunions of friends
Okay.
whom
Yeah,
you
no,
might
right. At
not
a certain
have.
point, right. You know
Yes,
everyone.
yes. So I think
And they're
that for
also on
me,
your papers. So yeah,
yes,
like there were once like people like in others' papers. Now they're all like on your papers as well. Just like
yes.
nice, yeah, like when you're like growing in this community.
So now at this stage, I think I have been to more than 20 countries, all
Right.
thanks to astronomy.
Yeah,
So
right. Like part of your job, right?
there have only been a couple of countries that I have
Mhm.
really visited for or like my personal vacation reasons,
Okay,
whatever.
right,
But all of the others are all because of astronomy. So I mean,
right.
what better jobs could we have, right?
Yeah, no, right. I mean, if you're like a huge fan of traveling, yes. Like for
Yes.
example, like I'm not. Like I'm like one of the people
Okay.
who just like see this as like one of the downsides of the job.
Wow.
And everyone knows that about me. I'm like, oh my God, I have to travel again. And then like this is like
But
one
you
of the
still
parts
do
that I
have
don't like,
to
but yeah,
you
but
still do have to travel to Ayuga. I would
I
love to
know,
show
right?
you the
I mean, to
campus. So that
India,
is
yes,
true.
like once, yeah, like I should do it because I'm very much like looking forward to like see the beauty of the country. I also had like
Yes.
plenty of like Indian friends thanks to astronomy again. I mean,
Again.
astronomy and then like also like I mean, let's say like Indians are very well-traveled people as well. So you can like find them in like many different
Yes. Yeah.
countries.
Yeah.
Like yeah, like so basically, yeah. I mean, this is like one thing. I think like Italians are very well-traveled, but then also let's say Indians. Like you're like very much into traveling. I feel like there should be a culture behind it, which I haven't like explored that much, but yeah, like I'm
Hmm.
happy for people who love to travel. I mean, it like makes our job easier, let's say. So yeah, like if you want to explain your feelings about being an astronomer and then experiencing it in a daily way, let's say like in a mundane, like quotidiano way of like, I mean, experience, then are there like certain words that you would use for describing your everyday life?
It depends on that particular day, honestly, of
Oh,
course.
okay.
But
So it
I
goes
would go
like
with the
this. Like it has a lot of like
there
ups
are
and
days I don't want to get out of bed because it's been a struggle from all the
downs.
but then there are days when I'm super excited, right?
Right.
So let's take the best situation. Or maybe not. Let's take the average situation.
Yeah, right. Normal day.
Uh words. I still want to keep thrilling somewhere there
All right.
because I do feel the thrill.
Right.
Um the other word would be a bit of underlying anxiety, I think, is always there.
Right.
Like
Yeah,
even
right.
on an average day, I will have a base level of anxiety,
Right.
thinking about the future, etc. And did you say three words? So I would say thrilling,
I mean, as
anxiety,
many as you
and
want. Yeah.
I would stick to three. I am having a
Okay.
hard time condensing to just single words.
Yeah.
Mm, I don't know. Maybe we should come back later to this.
Yeah. Like, okay. But then like the undertone of this is still like very high frequency. So it's like
Really?
thrilling and anxiety. Yeah, like I mean both of them, like they go on
Both.
an excitement spectrum
Ah,
of words, I
yes.
think. Yeah, like it's like yeah, like you're here. Like you're very energetic towards astronomy. It's not
Okay.
here, you know, because if you were saying that like this is like sometimes like depressing, then that would have been like more like low frequency type of like
I don't
energy.
think it has
But
been
it's like
depressing. I would know. I would not say it has been
right.
depressing.
No. I mean, yeah, no, I mean, I know. I mean, I don't say like no, like I mean, it should
Yes.
be like I
Yeah.
mean, like
Yeah.
depressing
Yeah.
or stuff. But I mean,
Yes.
if you were
Yes.
like using like I mean a word that was like I mean like more associated with like low frequency like feelings, but then like it
Yes.
was like
Yes.
all like I mean all excitement and passion and then like stuff like
Yes.
that. So
So
yeah, nice.
of course, I feel like there have been difference. Like this is my second postdoc.
Right,
So from my PhD to my first postdoc to my second postdoc, I
right.
feel there have been differences in how my everyday life looks like. Right?
Oh, true.
During
Yeah,
my PhD,
absolutely.
I would have so much of time
Right,
but not as much knowledge or
right,
ideas. Whereas in your first postdoc, you do have a lot of ideas,
right,
you have a lot of projects coming up. But then you are also taking in responsibilities, like
right,
responsibilities other than research, right?
right,
And now I feel like I have expanded my, because at this age, so I am sure you relate as well, because you and I are both very much similar into the stuff that we do. So
right,
because we aim for a more well-rounded CV,
right,
is why I think in addition to research, we also keep contributing towards a lot of other
right.
activities,
True.
right? And then now is the stage where I'm at the intersection of being in a lot of activities,
All right.
while also at the back of my head, I know that we should also be doing research as our primary job, but we are also doing
Right.
so many other stuff, right?
No, right.
So I feel like now we have, I mean, I'm jotting down science ideas,
All right.
but really having to take out the time to work on
True.
them
Right.
because we are, yes,
No, we're
I
like
feel
kind of
like,
like time, like we're all suffering from like time poverty. Like we're like,
yes,
I mean, yeah, we're always like struggling with the time because there are like so many things to be done, like so many things that one person can do, and then like you have to do it like before your contract ends, or like I mean, if you're like
yes,
getting another contract, then like the projects will be following you to the new contract.
yes, yes,
And yeah, but I feel like this is like one of the joys of astronomy. It doesn't have a bottom, right? Like I mean,
yeah,
like the deeper that you go, the more you find. So like it just like
yes,
gets like deeper and deeper. So there's like no end to our activities. Like this is like the beauty of
yes,
science in general. So you
yeah,
never remain surface level. The more you go, the
yes,
more you find.
yes,
But at the same time, I would say like, yeah, like we're, I don't know, like one of the things that I've been like struggling with is that like, what is the best idea? What is the most important one? What is the most
exactly,
impactful one? Because
yes,
like there's like also like a part of how other people see your work. And then like
yes,
how many others want to like participate in this, how much this is of priority to you as well. Because I mean, yeah, like the
yes,
joy of doing it is like something, but then like we're
yeah,
also living in an ecosystem, right? Like an
right,
environment that like people are continuously seeing you. You have to
yes,
continuously compete. You have to
yeah,
always think about the next step. And
yes,
all of this affects the way that you think, you select, you choose.
yes, yes,
Also for our, I think like community oriented activities that we are
yes,
having, we're also like, I
yes.
mean, thinking a little bit about like how much this is
What does the
impacting our
audience want, right?
community. Right. Like this is like a
Also,
very a strong connection that we have to each other because science has always been very much depending on people. I mean, like the
yes,
stars are there, the cosmos is there, but really the point of all of this is that how are we conceiving all of those
yes,
things? So
yeah,
it's about, so maybe like, I mean, nature is working in a very different way, but we have like built this infrastructure that connects us to like what is outside, like in the outer
mm,
space, etc.
mm, mm,
So I don't know, like I mean for me like it's a lot about like how others are functioning in this
mm,
community. So like subconsciously we're always thinking about others. We're
mm,
like, okay, yeah, like I'm an astronomer, but there are like so many others who are like
mm,
doing this. And I have
mm,
never been like, I mean, thinking of myself as a standalone entity in this
mm,
community. We are a very
mm,
small community. We are very like concentrated and
mm,
I think like this is like also like one of the like the social aspect, the cultural aspect of astronomy is something that always stood out to me
mm.
in a very different way because also like before I was doing physics and I believe between the communities there are huge differences. Physics, you can do like way more individually. You can do it with like two, three people, like in every single paper. While astronomy is going into this direction that like you have
Very collaborative, right?
very collaborative. It's all about like big collaborations. And then like in the
Mm,
future, you cannot do research without others being independent
yes,
of your job.
mm,
So yeah, like I think like culture is like part of our job, which we are
yes,
not taught about. But yeah, like I think we should be like shifting this type of mindset that instead of competing with each other all the time, we have to
exactly.
take up more an approach of how to be more collaborative, how to grow all
Yes,
together, and then how
yes,
to preserve each other and protect each other rather than just having a very like harsh competitive
right.
mentality. Oh yeah, like I mean, next selection, you're going to be my my enemy because I mean like I have to like crush you with my CV or like something like that. While I think there should be enough abundance in resources that
Mm,
we all preserve ourselves and then like
mm,
value each other to the point that we say that, oh yeah, like I mean without her, like it's not going to be the same. The research will not be the same. And it is true
yes,
because we have like so many people who have given us tools, knowledge, and also played a major role in our growth as individuals, as leaders, as scientists, researchers. So yeah, this is why like I was always been very fascinated with the culture of astronomy and other
mm,
people. You know, like the reason why like we're doing a lot of interviews with people because I feel like individuals in this community are also very interesting. Like we're like
mm,
understanding celestial objects, but then like you're also like breaking into different universes of people, right? It's like 30
yes,
years of life of an astronomer, like someone who's
yes,
always looked up So it's a very unique experience, I think.
Very nice initiative with this project, honestly.
No, thank you. No, yeah, like I just thought about it and I was like, okay, yeah, like this is a wonderful idea because we have plenty of brilliant people who are like very young researchers, but they're really, really brilliant and elegant like yourself. So yeah,
Thanks.
I always wonder. So yeah, okay, so let's go for the last question. How do
Yeah.
you envision yourself um, in astronomy or astrophysics as a field? How do you see your future self? Like not that how you're planning for it, but how are you, what is your vision? How do you see yourself in your brain right now that where you're getting in the future?
I feel like this is a very standard response that you will be hearing from everybody, right?
Yeah,
But
like yeah, I think so. Yeah, right. But yeah, let's see.
like at the transition phase, everybody has the exact same dream. Get a permanent position, have like win grants, form a group,
Right.
and do really good research,
Okay.
right? I think every single person would be
No,
uh
I don't think like this is like something is standard because I've been like talking to many people.
yes.
So some people, I don't know how it works country to country, but for example, in Italy, what you can do is that some people are very passionate about teaching, having students, etc.
Mm,
They go for the path of becoming a professor. So you have to be
okay.
hired at university. Some other
Okay.
people like me, they hate teaching. So they always want to like go for a researcher position. Like they only want to like
Yes.
publish papers and then like do other activities beside that, but never like get in the hair of students because they're not good teachers. So, and they know this, like they know like they don't have the quality to do that. So I think for you, like it's like kind of natural because you have also done a lot of science communication. So
Yes.
maybe for you, it's like, oh yeah, like of course I'm going to have students. But I think this is not something that like naturally,
Students, but still in research. So the whole dream for me is to be in a research institute
right?
and win grants so that I can support future PhDs and postdocs to be working with me, right?
Right.
And but the teaching aspect that you say,
Right.
somehow I'm also interested in teaching, but not full time. So
Okay.
in our research institutes, what we typically have is you spend most of your time doing research independently and with your team. So you have PhDs, postdocs in your team. So it's like a huge research group that you have. So that is the dream, of course. But in addition, you also teach a bit. So I
Okay.
really enjoy teaching
So it's not that
in
burdening.
yeah,
Right.
because I really like the feedback. So there are a few students who will ask you such interesting questions,
Right.
and you really like the way they are putting out their thoughts, right? And
Right.
it's very nice to go back down to the basics to explain all the things to them. So,
Right.
at the time when during conferences, we would be starting at a certain level because we assume the audience already knows all of this. So
Mm.
there are very few moments where you really need to go back to the basics to be explaining from scratch.
Right.
Whereas in classroom teaching, you would typically find somebody who would ask, say, for example, I work with Cephits, so or our ladies. So there would be somebody who would ask, why do they even follow a period luminosity relationship? So
Right.
this is something that you would, I think the last time I spoke about it was during my PhD.
Right.
Uh,
Yeah, the for
almost, I don't know.
like even like back because we
Yeah,
didn't
yeah,
have
yeah,
sort of
back,
yeah.
yes. So I think so I would want to spend most of my time doing research, like full-time research, but I really also enjoy say giving workshops. I give a lot of tutorials in workshops on how to use the software, for example. There are also certain times when we are teaching the basics of variable stars. So it's not, I'm still not teaching the very conceptual physics
Right.
subjects yet, but I'm teaching the basics of my field. So it's
Right.
still research, but from the very ground up, right? So so far I have been enjoying both, of course, with more interest towards research, but I would not want to quit completely on teaching either. So
Okay, great.
I think it's possible to do like a balance of both.
No, that's
Like
great. Like,
in the Indian
allows
system,
you.
it is
This allows you. Yeah, right. I mean, like, I'm very happy for that. But I've heard in
yes,
some countries, really, when you become a professor, the teaching duties like hinder you
yes,
from doing research.
yeah,
Like
yes,
that's like the
yes.
reality of the thing.
That is very true even here, which is why if you like research, it is typically best if you get a job in a research institute rather than at a university.
Right, because the professors, like they do the grant writing, they can take students, but then
Yes,
how much they themselves do research, like very minimal. It just
yes,
comes down to the supervision. So like they have
yes.
to hire like postdocs and PhDs, and if they
Hmm.
don't have enough grants, then like I mean that responsibility falls on themselves. So they
Yeah,
have to be publishing as well.
yes.
Yeah. But I mean, like this whole interview, I think like it had like a very positive vibe, like the connotation for me was like a lot of like optimism, positivity,
Thank
and
you.
like a
Thank you
very
so much.
cool career, like it was like building a relationship with something that was I don't know, like it was like, okay, like this is the only thing that works for me. Like I'm going to like water this so like it grows and then yeah, like I mean it's just like I don't know, a tree that like it started from like very early stages and then like it's just growing and growing and then you have a very like concentrated like vision to follow as well. So I mean, this is great. I think like this is like great vibes, like it's a relationship that's like growing
Thank
and
you so much. So actually, the thing is, if you do not have, I never had a physicist influence in my life,
oh wow.
as I feel most of us might not have, right? So I don't know how it works.
It's like by
So
chance thing, I don't know.
you keep paving your own path,
Right.
and the only way you do is you figure out what is interesting, what is not. But of course, the role of mentors every single step of the way has been extremely. But also, I feel the family background that I'm from, they have been super supportive of do whatever you want. I mean, they
Right. This
they had the confidence in me that
right.
I would choose something right for me. And then to this day, I feel at 18 is a lot of responsibility to be
True.
making this, like on
True.
hindsight, right?
Right. No, when I think about
Uh,
it, I didn't know anything. And actually, like everyone discouraged me from following this path. They were like, you'll end up jobless.
how old were you when you
First-
had to make the decision?
Yeah, like, it's a very big decision. And
Yes,
yeah,
but how old were you when you made the decision? Do you
I
remember?
did physics like you. So like at the
Okay.
age of 18, yeah, I also
Yes.
like, started from physics, which is like I don't know, astronomy is like much fancier than physics in
Hmm.
the theoretical side, I would say. Because I mean,
Hmm.
physics, like you also have like nuclear physics or like solid state physics or stuff like that
Yes.
that are more commercial or like atomic molecular, which is like something that I was doing. But yeah, I mean that, yeah, I don't know. I feel like I mean, I'm not going to like return the 4 years of my bachelor to anything in this world because that was like
Okay.
experience of my life. Like I enjoy
Yes.
physics. Like I mean, like I wanted to. I feel like this is a huge privilege to know physics before dying, like the way that
Yes.
we know it. Like I
Yes.
remember, like for one of my birthdays, I did this thing, which was like a crazy thing. So I was like back from London, and then like I just got like from the train station to a bar, and then like I just sat and then I started deriving the Dirac equation by heart for myself because I thought
Wow.
my like birthday gift to myself. Like, and I'm like,
Wow.
I have myself. And I think like this is something that just I don't know, stays with you throughout your life. And then like
Mm.
whenever like I'm having like a bad moment, the thing that
Mm.
really saves me is just I don't know, like either it's like Einstein field equations or it's like
Mm.
quantum field theory, Like I mean
Mm.
like the connection that we have to this thing is just runs so deep. It really
Mm.
changes the way that you see the world, the way that you live.
Mm.
So and then like I mean for all of us, I think the interesting thing is that when you have this type of training,
Mm.
then every single one of us, we have a very unique journey. Like we have a very
Yes.
different path from each other. And this is why like I selected a sample of like 100 people. I know that it's never going to be repetitive because whoever that you're speaking to, they have a very different path from everyone
Yes.
else. They have
Yes.
different feelings, they have a very different vision.
Yes.
So yeah, I mean, your
And
interview
also,
like a
and also at the end of the day,
house, so
yes. So
doesn't have a
at
horizontal relationship with anyone else. Everyone is like a standing in their own way. So
yes, yes. I wanted to say at the end of the day, I feel like our personalities have also been, I don't know, we are more analytical in general, no?
true. We are very logical,
When,
analytical,
yes,
right?
we are very logical, we are very solution driven. So
Right.
no matter what
Feeling so
problem you face, even if it's in your life other than your job, you are very solution driven, right? You don't, you stay calm, you know you will figure out. So it
right.
has been a thing. Like if you have completed your PhD, I mean, no matter what everybody has learned during their PhD is a whole other thing scientifically, but everybody has learned perseverance, right? You
Right.
keep working at it and you reach to a solution. I
No, true.
think this is how our lives have changed also. Like if there is an issue, we think this is solvable, we will be working at it and we will sort it out.
No, this is like one of the first lessons that I learned in algebra sessions during
Mm.
our high school. Our teacher was like, whether you like it or not, because you're in sciences, you're going to be very logical. And then like your
Yes.
first like way of dealing with a problem is solving it. Because you've
Yes.
been like always a problem solver, right? So you
Yes.
forced to do it. So you have to like face a problem and then say that, okay, these are the options. Like this is like how we can like find a solution. This is the optimal solution, etc. So you always like fall down on like how you were trained. But
Exactly. Yeah.
like we have as astronomers, which is very different from like engineers and then like other folks, is
Mm.
that astronomy, I don't know if you agree with this or not, has also a very huge spiritual dimension to it.
Mm.
Like something like people usually say, like, not only for us, just looking up at the skies is one of the most
Mm.
spiritual practices that people have ever
Yes.
known. So they
Mm.
deeply connect to the outer space.
Mm.
So I
Mm.
think it's a very good balance of logic and
Mm.
spirituality at the same time.
Yes.
Because we, especially, I don't know, like India, like you have like how many like centuries of history like, connecting to
Yes.
it and producing all these designations and then like building a culture around it. So
Yes.
like much deeper thing that we
Yeah.
have.
Very beautifully put. Yes.
No, really. I think like this is like why like astronomy. I mean, I have heard this from one of my friends
Mm.
that even if you quit astronomy, you will
Mm.
always remain an astronomer, like
Yes.
really independent of your job because you have been
Yes.
as one. So
Mm.
that is not only your job, it's your personality, it's your identity. It's like when
Mm.
you're like kind of like a religion, like even if you
Mm.
quit religion, you're still your identity is like going
Yes.
back to that. So
Yeah.
like astronomy, I mean, you're an astronomy major, like whatever other things you do, you will forever
Yes.
be. An astronomer.
Mm.
It's not something that you just like I
That
quit.
is true.
Yeah, yeah, right. I mean, you will
Yeah.
be an astronomer.
Mm.
So yeah, I don't know any like final comments or feedback.
I don't know. I think it's a very nice initiative. I really enjoyed this one. I mean, you made me think more than I would normally do
Oh, really?
regarding the entire path or the journey, I mean.
Right.
So I'm very grateful for this opportunity. And I would really like to wish you the best with the project. I know it's going to be a success. This is a huge initiative and it's very wonderfully executed.
No, thank you. I hope like everyone can see that how unique they are. Like this was
Yes.
like one of the purposes of this project that like, oh yeah, like I mean others can see you, but then like can you see yourself that how unique you are
Yeah.
and how privileged you are? Because this is
Yes.
like come up like a lot that we're like very privileged for doing this.
Mm.
But I was like, yeah, like
Yes.
you're very unique, but then like you're also like kind of privileged. So we have to be like
Yes.
grateful for this as well.
Yes.
So yeah, thank you so much. Really, it
Thank
was
you.
on.
Thank you so much.